Now, I only knew the Jaws harp that you've got here, which is a sort of metal bar, kind of twisted on
Kind of in a
itself,
mushroom shape.
in a mushroom shape, and or maybe something slightly more phallic looking at it now.
I'm Steve Stephenson, examiner of local folklore and Fortean events. I haven't made a video for a while, not since the debunking of the so-called Worthing Radish cult. But it's been for a good reason. My regular viewers will know that I've lived for a long time in a bedsit in Littlehampton. And I've moved, as you can see by my environment. I wouldn't move into an ordinary house, no, not with me being an examiner of local folklore. I managed to find a rather wonderful cottage with very cheap rent for reasons that you'll see very shortly in Lyminster. Now, Lyminster is a small village outside Littlehampton. It has a Saxon church, the St Mary Magdalene, which is very close to a Knucker hole. So, what is a Knucker hole? Well, it's a very deep pond, basically, or a water hole, possibly even bottomless, which within Sussex always had a demon, a water spirit, a nymph, sometimes even dragons, that would lure people and drag them to their deaths in the water. But I personally, I think I'm more interested and excited by these water demons and shape-shifting spirits. Behind this gate is a Lyminster Knucker. It's now a safe haven for wildlife. I think you can hear the birds. But I used to play here as a kid. Obviously we wouldn't let our parents know. They always told us to stay well away from the Knucker hole. But we were kids. We did what we wanted. Now, we used to play here quite regularly until a new family bought this very cottage. And then they fenced off the Knucker hole, supposedly for our safety. But I don't know. Now, let me tell you a bit about the disturbing history of this cottage. So, approximately 13 years ago, there was a grisly murder here. You know, the locals are still a little jittery about it. The family was the Puttocks, Harry and Jane Puttock, and their daughter, Rose. It appears that they were all brutally murdered, with the father, Harry, being decapitated. To this day, no one really knows who did it, what did it, and how it happened. When I was walking around, sort of doing some investigations, I found a loose floorboard in one of the bedrooms. I found this. Just looks like a book. It was little Rosie's diary. It starts off pretty ordinary, young girl talking about pet rabbits, school, and their friends, and the latest crush that they had. Pretty tedious, to be honest. Then I noticed, just in the spring, she started mentioning something about, I had a terrible dream last night. A very cold hand was laid on me. I woke up and the room was cold. Then a couple of days later, I was very scared last night. I woke up, I couldn't move. There was a heavy weight on my chest and I couldn't breathe. Now, any examiner will recognise that as a sign of sleep paralysis. It's very scary, particularly if you don't know what's happening. But then, a couple of days after that, there's something, her writing is not very good here, but there's something about a bald, wet man with cold hands. And that she's going to have to tell her parents she's getting too scared. She doesn't want to go to sleep at night. And then the diary just stops all of a sudden. The dates sort of marry up for when the grisly murders happened, but not exactly. So this is a bit of an update here. Well, examining more of the house to find out what happened. In the kitchen, I found some very old lino that was underneath what was the fridge. To my surprise, there was a trapdoor there. Now, I've not been in there yet, but I've got to. I've got to open it and have a look down there. Probably a false lead. It could even be going to the old ice house, which many old cottages used to have. Before there was refrigeration, you'd have an underground larder. Let's investigate. So, I'm down in the passageway. It is, it takes a bit to kind of give me the jitters, but, a little bit. Well, it's probably just me knowing what happened here. Just a minute. What's that? Who are you? What are you doing down here? Who are you? Oh, Marjorie, you wouldn't believe it. What are you doing? I'm sorry.